Before empires ruled the world. Before kings carved their names into stone. There was a land without a name. A land of wandering tribes, endless plains, and silent mountains. From this forgotten ground, a people would rise. Not yet Persians. Not yet kings. This is the story of those who came first. The Medes. And the birth of Iran. Long before the name Iran existed, before empires, crowns, and written law, this land was a crossroads of movement. Endless plains stretched beneath wide skies. Mountains rose like walls between worlds. Tribes moved slowly across the land, following seasons, water, and survival. Among them were a people who did not yet know they would shape history. They came from the north and east, speaking an early Indo-Iranian language, bringing horses, iron weapons, and a new way of life. They would later be known as the Medes. The Medes did not arrive as conquerors. They arrived as settlers. They built villages near rivers and hills, defended by wooden walls and watchtowers. Their lives were hard. The land was unforgiving. Around them lived older civilizations, more advanced, more organized, especially the Assyrians. The Assyrian Empire ruled through fear. Cities were destroyed. Rebellions were crushed. Survival meant submission. For centuries, the Medes lived under pressure, paying tribute, learning from their enemies, waiting. The Medes were not one nation at first. They were many tribes, often divided, often suspicious of one another. But danger has a way of uniting people. Assyrian raids grew harsher. Villages burned. Families were taken. Slowly, something changed. Tribal leaders began to meet. Alliances formed. Shared enemies created shared purpose. For the first time, the idea of unity appeared. According to later tradition, a man named Deioces rose among them. Not a warrior at first, but a judge. People came to him to settle disputes. His reputation grew. Justice brought order. Order brought trust. Eventually, the tribes chose him as king. Deioces built a capital, a city called Ecbatana, surrounded by 7 walls, each painted a different color. Whether legend or truth, the story reveals something important. The Medes wanted structure. They wanted law. They wanted stability. After Deioces came his successors, men who understood that survival required strength. The Medes learned warfare. They adopted siege tactics. They organized armies. Iron replaced bronze. Cavalry replaced foot soldiers. Slowly, the balance of power shifted. The Assyrians were no longer invincible. Under King Cyaxares, the Medes reached their height. He reorganized the army, separating infantry, cavalry, and archers, a revolutionary move for the time. Then, he did something unthinkable. He allied with Babylon, another enemy of Assyria. Together, they marched west. In 612 BCE, Nineveh fell. The Assyrian Empire, which had ruled through terror for centuries, collapsed. History changed forever. For the first time, a power centered on the Iranian plateau stood among the great forces of the ancient world. The Median Empire stretched from Anatolia to central Iran. It was not an empire of monuments. Not an empire of stone inscriptions. It was an empire of transition. The Medes ruled through alliances, local kings, and shared authority. Their power was real, but fragile. Culturally, the Medes shaped the future. They influenced clothing, court rituals, and military organization. Later Persian kings would adopt Median dress. Median officials would serve Persian rulers. Even the idea of kingship passed through them. Yet, the Medes left few written records. Their story survives mostly through the words of others. And then, quietly, their dominance ended. A vassal king from the south, ruling a small Persian state, rose against them. His name was Cyrus. Cyrus the Great. In a swift campaign, he defeated the last Median king, Astyages. There was no great destruction. No erased cities. Instead, the Medes were absorbed. The Persian Empire was born, but it did not erase the Medes. It stood on their foundation. Median nobles became Persian administrators. Median generals led Persian armies. Median traditions lived on. History remembered the Persians. History almost forgot the Medes. Yet without them, there would have been no empire to inherit. The Medes were the bridge, between tribes and empire, between chaos and order, between survival and vision. They united this land before it had a name. They proved that unity was possible. That power could rise from cooperation. Their legacy was not glory. It was continuity. Long after their fall, the idea they created remained. A land bound by shared culture. shared language roots, shared memory. That idea would be called Iran. And it began, not with an empire, but with the Medes. Their story does not end here. It passes forward, to the Persians, to empires that would rule continents. But the first step, the most fragile one, belonged to them. Those who came quietly, united slowly, and changed history forever.